This day, Jesus suggested that we travel. He has a specific place in mind. Now, I asked him, I says, would you give me some kind of preview of what we're going to see? I'm hoping that if I know ahead of time, I won't sound like such an amateur. He laughs about that. He thinks it's okay that I sound like an amateur. But regardless, anyhow, we all met. There's my two friends, Jesus and I. We're at the bottom of the tree. Of course, Jesus doesn't need to use the sky tunnel, but we do. I need to use it. So there we are. We're at the bottom of the tree, and we walk up through the center of the tree. I put my palm of my hand on the wood, and I follow it up. And that way, I feel like I'm more there. The treeness surrounds me, the greenery, the wood, the pulse of all the trees on Earth. One day we will take trees with us to other planets. We'll be the Johnny Appleseeds of space. I like that. I think that's a nice idea. And we walk up and we get to the top where there's a billion branches and Jesus steps off and we follow. The first color I see purple. And I don't know why. I look around. We're standing on green grass, which is fine. I see mountains. There it is, mountains in the distance, and they are very, very purple. There's some white tips. It's very Earth-like, and they aren't too far in the distance. So I look around, and the sky is a nice blue. There's sort of not woods. I would say low brush to the side, and there's a stream to the side, and so we begin walking. I think it's grass that we're walking on. It's looks a little strange. It's got a few things. It looks like it's got thorns in it, and well, of course the thorns don't bother us. So we walk over to the stream and then we walk across it. It's only a few feet, actually. It's not a real large stream. We walk across it and keep going through some real sparse woods. There's not very many trees or brush or bushes. I would say more bushes, more bushiness. We keep going and we get to sort of an opening and we see some people and they don't seem real busy. They're just like walking around, talking, just laying around. And they look very human. I'm not sure if they are, though. The colors are different. Let me look. Yes, I walk up to one person. They can't see us, by the way. I go up to one person, and the person looks a little bit purple. Not totally. Got parts of her body, and it is a female. She's got breasts. She looks female-ish, and she's got parts of her body are a different color. I don't understand that. It's like she's got different colored halfway down to her feet. They look like feet, and her arms. It's like she's made out of two different colors, and that seems really, really strange. And her hair is sort of it's dark. She has eyes, nose, and everything. I'm looking at her very close. I'm standing right next to her, though she can't see me. And she's rubbing something. She's got something in her hand, and she's rubbing it. It looks like, I would say, like a drum. She's rubbing it. But she's very strange. She's got clothes on. The clothes are just sort of a dull yellow. There don't seem anything special. They just cover the center of her body. She's got arms and legs like we would have. Her hair's long and straight. I decided since she's got such weird markings on her body, I decided I wanted to check out other people in this group closer. Jesus told me before we left I would be surprised. This is very surprising. I didn't know humans could, or people, humanoids, could have strange markings like this on their skin, and it is their skin. And here's a man, and he's got similar strangeness about him. He's got an arm that's a different color than a leg. He don't have many clothes on now. I would say it's more like sort of a small tunic. He's got long hair, but he looks like a man. He has no breast. He is more muscular and larger. I think this is very common with all men. And he's got part of his face is not purple. I would say it's more of a greenish tint. And the other side of his face is that isn't pink, is it? I don't know. I honestly can't tell you. It's a very light color, and he's like green and some other color, maybe a light orange. That's strange. I never could have imagined this in a million years. I mean, even animals don't have this type of marking. Maybe it's paint. Now, it's possible. It doesn't, I don't want to touch the people, but it doesn't shine like paint would shine. But it might be paint. I mean, I can't imagine humanoids having different tones of different limbs and everything. I really cannot. And I decided to investigate further. The man was just, I don't know what he's doing. He's sitting there. And then there's a child. Wait a minute. There's a child running out of like a hut or like a tree fort on the ground. And here comes this child, and the child has different colors. Honestly, they're like, but they don't seem as prominent. They seem more tinty. Wow, wow. This is like, I wouldn't say red. I'd say sort of a pink. He's pink, and he's got like a dark arm and a pink arm. I don't know. I don't. I look at Jesus. Jesus is standing there. He's smiling at me. All right, and I really need to know this. This has got to be paint, doesn't it? Isn't it paint? And he says he kind of shrugs and shakes his head. No, that it is not paint. These people are not painting themselves. They really have these strange markings. There's a lady over there whose face is a different color than her body. Her body is purple, I would say like a blue, and her face is, it's not a pink, not an orange. It was sort of a yellowish tan. Wow. And her hands are a different color too. Anyhow, these people are kind of just walking, doing what people do normally do in a village. And every place I look, some people are just laying around. Some people are a little bit busy. Nobody seems hurried. Nobody seems to be upset about anything. Everybody's peaceful. I do see another hut made out of, it's like branches pushed together, and a lot of leaves in there, and it like makes a hut, like a teepee type thing, only made out of green leaves with a small opening. And there's another child that's come out, but also with strange markings. I look around this small village. There's more of these teepee things, but they're like in the brush. There's a lot of brush there, and that's where the teepees are. They're not they're like surrounding these people. There's a circle of these teepees, and where the people are walking, there's it's like the grass has been sort of wore down, and there's an animal. I see an animal. It's sort of like a small cow, very small cow. It's more like a sheep. It looks like a cow, but it's the size of a sheep. Anyhow, Jesus said he wanted to take us to someplace strange. This is really strange. And I look at my friends, and they smile. They don't. It's very strange to them too. It's like I wouldn't have thought it possible. I really wouldn't have. And I don't think their skin is like fur. Is it? Maybe it is. Now maybe their skin is made out of a real fine fur. Maybe that's what's making the colors. But everybody takes it as normal. And one person walked into the brush, and we decided to follow to see. It's a male, and he's also multicolored. He's like he got black on him, and cream, like black and cream, and he's walking. His one arm is black, the other arm is sort of black, and there's got a cream from the elbow down. But he's walking just very human. It looks, these could almost be human people. They have everything we would consider a humanoid would have. And so we follow him through the brush. The brush, he pushes it away from him. It isn't well, I guess it's sort of a path, but not much of one. And he walks over to a stream, and he fills something. He's got something in his that he had carried with him in one hand, and he sits at the stream and he fills it up. He's getting a container of water. He had scooted down. He didn't sit at the stream. He scooted, and now he's standing up with his water, and he's just walking back. So in other words, the village is it's very small. It's near a stream. I would suggest these people are very, I don't want to say primitive. The word primitive should not even be in our vocabulary because they're just not evolved very much, I would say. But they're happy. They certainly look happy. And there's some birds, there's some other animals. I really cannot make them out. And there's some flowers, some white flowers here and there, and a red, sort of large flowers, but they're mixed in with the bushes, with the brush. And I'm not sure what else there is to see. It's just, they're very strange people. They're just normal acting, human shaped, just with different colors on them. And I really want to look really close before we leave. I want to see what their skin is made out of. I can't touch. I wouldn't touch somebody. I wouldn't hinder them. So let me take a really close, and I really do. I bend down and I look at someone's face, and I see, and there's like a stripe going, not a stripe. It's not a straight stripe. It's just like a weird shape right on the face there, right at the chin and nose. That's a different color than the rest of the face, and I look really close, and I do. I think it's fur. I think these people I think it's like a fur on them, and that's how this is achieved. Anyhow, I'm ready to leave. They have a beautiful world. It's very nice, very earth-like. And I nod to the others, and they agree that we could leave now. I've seen enough. Anyhow, Jesus nods, and we step away from the village before we leave. And I see a bird sitting there. It's a real tiny bird. It flew down. It looks like a bird. in between a bird and a butterfly. It flew down and landed on the bush. And I mean, it looks to me like it sees us, but I doubt it. I doubt. If the people can't see us, I'm sure that that little bird can't see us. And so we walk away from the village, and then we step off of this world, and we're back. And I asked Jesus, I says, if I'm back in my chair, and I asked Jesus, is there something that you wanted us to learn from this? And he smiles, and he just sort of saying, not especially, just that he wanted to surprise me. And he wanted to surprise anybody who listened to me. Okay, thank you for listening. Have a good day. Goodbye. As a short comment, I just want to say that these were very beautiful people. I didn't mean to imply that they were not. It was my surprise. It wasn't too beautiful, and I seen the people talking. I didn't mention, forgot to mention that. They probably know each other by their markings. And maybe even instead of names, or they may name each other according to their markings. And that fur that was on that person's skin was very, very fine. They were very beautiful people. The child laughed, so I'm not sure what else there is to say about this except that their world was nice looking, and they were happy. So, all right. Goodbye. Have a good day.